Next, let's talk a little bit about nesting. Nesting is typically used when you want to use a conditional shortcode, the one that has multiple parts, and then you want to put something inside of that shortcode. And you want to have multiple conditions, meaning you want to say, okay, if they're logged in and if they happen to have this certain tag, and you could go deeper than that. But let's look at that one real quick. So here on my test page, we tried this one, which is memb has any tag. Another common one is memb is logged in. So I'll jump to that page here on memberium.com, and you can find all these shortcodes under documentation shortcodes. But in this case, it's saying if somebody's logged in, show them this message. So shown to users who are logged in. Else, meaning if they're not logged in, go ahead and show them this other message for users who are not logged in. And as you can see here, you don't always have to have the switch statement. You could just have a very simple if logged in, show this, and then close the shortcode. That's what this little slash means, is the end of this particular shortcode. So let's say, though, that we use this. I'm going to go ahead and copy it. I'll come over to our test page and make myself some space, and I'll just paste it in there. So here we're saying, if you're logged in, show this message. Now, what nesting would look like is actually taking another shortcode, and it could be a conditional one like this one here, and putting it inside of this first one. So I'll just go ahead and paste it there. Now, for our sake, for visibility, I'm just going to kind of space these inside of here. You wouldn't actually have to do that for it to work. But what you can see is this entire conditional statement is inside of this other conditional statement. So now I'm saying if you're logged in and if you have these tags, show this message. If you're logged in and you don't have these tags, show this message. And then if ultimately you're not logged in at all, show this message. So right now the memb has any tag shortcode is nested inside of the memb is logged in shortcode. You could also nest shortcodes inside of the one that's nested. So I could take this memb contact shortcode and I could say, where it says shown to users with these tags, I could say hi, and then paste that, which is going to be the first and last name separated by a space. So it'd say, hi, Joe Schmo. And then here it would say, you're looking nice today. And then down here, I could say, hi, again, Joe Schmo. Delete this stuff and say, you don't have the tags. So in this case, I'm nesting a very simple shortcode inside of a conditional shortcode, which is also inside of another conditional shortcode. Now, to take it one step further, and you don't have to do this all the time, obviously, but if you did want to do these types of things, I'm just kind of showing you how it would work. But to take it a step further, you can nest the same shortcode inside of itself. So I can go to the memb has any tag shortcode. And if you go all the way to the bottom, you're going to see kind of a funny looking example right here, where I'm putting a memb has any tag inside of another memb has any tag. Now, for the shortcode processor not to get confused by this, you just add little things to the shortcode. So it's memb has any tag 1, and you can tell this is the opening part of that first memb has any tag. Else memb has any tag 1, this is the switch, and slash memb has any tag 1 is the close. And so the 1 and alternatively the 2 on this one is what separates those, so that it knows that this else memb has any tag, because it's got a 2, belongs with this opening and this closing. And obviously this else memb has any tag belongs with this opening and that closing. And you can go a few layers deep with that if you wanted to. The reason this is useful is then you can say, well, if they have this tag, and if they have that tag, and if they have that other tag, but at any of those levels, if they happen to not have, the second or third or fourth or whichever condition, you can have an alternative message. One use case I think of is upsells, where you're saying, okay, if they have this product, I want to sell them this next product. But if they also have the next product, then I want to sell them a different product. But if they have all 3 of those products, then I want to sell them a 4th product. So at any given time, because all the conditions are nested inside of each other, only one product will be sold, but it will be the product that they need next based on layers of what tags they have. So that's kind of it for nesting. Like I said, you can use multiple conditions, you can put different shortcodes inside of each other, or you can even use the same shortcode inside of itself over and over if you just add those numbers to them. And again, I would reference the memb has any tag shortcode for the example at the bottom of that one to learn more about it.